Hi, I'm Charles Sturgis.
And I'm Will Plows, and welcome to episode 8 of the Drive-By podcast. Another video recorded one.
Hello, we're here. What's wrong with that one? I'm just saying hello to the
with
viewers.
the gaudy mug.
Yes, I know.
Hello.
It is a particularly hateful mug. Where is this from? Well, I know it's from Monaco. I know it's from
a
Monaco.
Stupid question. So, the tale behind that mug.
Yeah.
Whenever my dad and I go on holiday, we try to find each other the most kind of disgusting, gaudy, tacky presents. Because you know, every shop in the Mediterranean, whatever it is, it has a tacky present in it.
Every shop, every gift shop.
So when he went to the south of France, he went to Monaco to walk around the track. One year he bought me a Monaco polo shirt that says Harbour of Monaco on it. And then the next year he bought me this golden mug. Oh no, I bought him that golden mug. No, I bought him that golden mug from a shop in Cannes.
It wouldn't be that bad if it wasn't for how absolutely terribly it's worn down.
In the dishwasher.
Covered in shit. All sorts of stuff.
Yes. Anyway, but you're still drinking out of it. Anyway, we've not had an F1 race this week. So how are we going to open this?
Well, we've got a bit of F1 news. Which I'm quite excited about, actually.
Oh, yes. This is actually good news because Charles has been very excited today.
I've been very excited. Gulf are set to partner McLaren for a couple of years again. Last time they were...
That's going to look awesome.
Oh, yeah. They had a relationship together 68 to 73 in F1 and Can-Am.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't know they did in
Can-Am is a horny type of racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is just a bit mental.
I really hope they bring that livery.
That will be the best
blue and
looking
orange
livery that you'll be able to get on a car.
If they don't win, scrap it. No
Oh, absolutely. Well, if that car has anything other than the blue, the pale blue and the orange on it, I will throw my toys out the pram.
Like Lewis
Hamilton.
What else we had? We've got new tracks.
We've got some new tracks for Formula 1.
Because we've got the Mugello, which we mentioned last week.
Yeah.
The new Ferrari Robot Wars track.
Yeah.
But then we've got the Nürburgring.
Yeah. We've got Imola.
On the 9th to 11th of October. Portimao.
I know you're a big fan. I've been around there.
You're a big fan, and we've got Imola.
Very much like that track.
You did go to Portimao.
I did. I went at the Interdromo or Autodromo de Algarve.
It's like last week we struggled to say Hungary.
But yeah, I like that one actually. It's only 12 years old. It's not been around for very long, but it's
really. That does surprise me.
Car manufacturers love to take people out there because it's always going to be hot.
Sunny, isn't it? Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of golf courses and stuff like that, and therefore a lot of hotels that they can use. And I went round that in an SVR F-Type.
I know this because he sent me loads of videos.
I sent you a lot of videos
very
at
jealous.
the time. And I went round it in a 2-litre F-Type as well. And when I was going round in the 2-litre F-Type, absolutely pinning it and not going very quickly.
Drive?
Yeah, I was driving the 2-litre F-Type. And then everyone sat in the SVR and had a hot lap in that. But to be going around the track and then seeing just come in your rearview mirror SVR come bang down and go, there's nothing I can do.
No.
I'm going to move out of the way.
You're like a Haas, aren't you? Just have to move out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is on that.
Lewis is coming past it. Yeah. Talking of Haas.
That's like everyone on the grid, though, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Talking of Haas, though, Gunther Steiner's come out saying...
He's come out! Oh, good for him. Well done, Gunther.
Well done, that man. Yes, no, but...
Man with a very big chin.
The next few races at Silverstone don't expect anything from Haas because they use a Ferrari powertrain. I
wasn't expecting anything from Haas beforehand, if I'm perfectly honest.
It was a useless bit of news that we're announcing on our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other bit of news was Vettel.
Do you think he'll go to Racing Point?
Yeah. I think he will. I think it would suit him.
Okay, but who would they get rid of?
No, what they'll do, Lance Stroll's father, Lawrence, will just say Vettel's his son.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's it.
This is my new son, Sebastian Stroll.
Sebastian Stroll works quite well, actually. I think
I think I'll get rid of Perez.
Better than Lance. I don't think Lance is a particularly good name.
No, it's what they use in jousting, isn't it?
Lance Stroll sounds like a 70s porn star name.
No, it does.
Strong Lance. This
is dreadful if ever wants to come on our podcast. Lance, if you're watching out there, you sound like a 70s porn star.
You can come on and we'll...
Don't come on.
No, don't come on. No, well, we're not going to film you doing anything else. But other than that, that's it for F1 news, really, isn't it?
No.
Apart from the fact...
You were saying...
I was having a whinge about... What's his name? Do you know his name? Lewis Hamilton's race engineer. The guy who comes on the radio.
Get in there, Lewis.
The guy who always get in there, Lewis.
James?
I think it's James, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all called like James, aren't they?
So, why can't they have interesting people to do it? Who would you have as your race engineer?
Yeah.
For not necessarily for your I think for the information
Chief
during
strategy.
the race.
Who would you have for chief strategy?
He's not making any
Guy.
decisions. He's just the voice that tells you these things.
Oh, that's a good question. That is.
Who would you have?
Do you know who I'd have? You know what I've been watching recently?
What?
The Thick of It.
Oh, you've been rewatching the Thick.
I've been watching The Thick of It, and I'd have Malcolm Tucker.
Oh, you've got to have
an
Malcolm
angry
Tucker.
Scottish guy,
very
howling down at
sweary.
me because I will drive seconds quicker.
Oh yeah,
much quicker. I'll be a minute faster around the track.
I went with Brian Johnson from AC/DC. Big
I
car
thought you were
man.
about to say Brian Blessed.
I'd have Brian Blessed too. I'd definitely have
Really?
Brian Blessed. Yeah, I've got him down too.
The AC/DC
Brian
frontman.
yeah, but a nice Geordie. That's what you want. A nice Geordie. Go on, son. That's
I
what you
can see him
need
doing that. You know.
for your end of your race.
Mm.
Switch to scenario 7. That's probably a crap accent, but there we go. It's
butchered
not
it
a
right
great
there.
impression
Sorry,
of
Brian.
Brian Johnson. But
If
there
you're
we
not
go.
watching this,
He has a Project 7.
does he?
I think it lives in Miami. I think he lives in
out there,
Florida.
doesn't
And he's got Project 7.
He's a big car man, though.
He's a
isn't he?
very big car.
Loves
man.
his cars.
He's a lovely chap as well from the looks of him.
Yeah.
F1's pretty much done. We did
We've got
Silverstone predictions last week,
didn't
we?
we?
Said them.
Yeah. We haven't got a track to talk about, have we really?
No, not much else
Race
to talk
wise.
about. It's all a bit boring at the moment. Everyone's not doing
Yeah.
particularly well.
It's like this season that they're just kind of extending it, aren't they? Just for the sake of extending it.
It's because they've got a certain amount of races to meet, and then they'll probably pack it in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Imola the most.
Imola would be a cool one.
Awesome to be back there. But other than that, nothing really interesting in the Formula One world, is there?
Not especially.
It's a shame.
Sebastian, McLaren doing something about Gulf.
And the new tracks.
Racing Point. Haven't heard anything about the Racing Point Renault dispute either.
Probably don't want to either, do you?
No, not
really?
especially. So we can move on and we can jump into some motoring news. So what news have you got for me? Because I've seen nothing.
I've got some good news to start off
Nothing of
this
interest.
week.
Good news.
Most of it is just electric cars. But we'll come on to that, don't worry about that, because I've got good news.
Okay.
A blind man has celebrated restoring his vision by buying a Corvette.
Oh,
I know. Isn't
so
that happy news?
he can see.
You can see now.
can
He
see,
was born with blurred vision, so he can never
Right.
drive.
Mm-hmm.
But now, that's right, isn't it? Mike Shikorowski.
Shikorowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Canadian bloke. Anyway.
Shikorowski. That sounds better.
Shikorowski.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Mike. Sorry, Mike. Anyway, this Canadian bloke, born couldn't see very well, now can see after going to California for an op, has now just bought himself a beautiful Corvette.
That's a hell of a weekend, actually.
Isn't
Trip
it?
to California, do your eyesight, and then go, I'll have a Corvette from the place across the street.
Yeah. Is
That
that
looks
here?
good, actually.
My brain would never interpret the image as a steady picture, which is what it's going to be like now when he puts his foot down in his car anyway. Tunnel vision going past because he's never experienced a car before. But yeah, good on that man.
Well done.
Well done, Mike.
That's
Very
nice.
happy for you.
That's nice news. So let me guess now, you're going to depress me.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I am.
Right.
Because the next few articles are all on electric cars. You go on any car news now, and it's all just electric cars. Nothing. No one's making anything interesting.
Independent startups making little electric
You mean
cars.
bankruptcies?
Yes, making bankruptcies.
A lot of financial worries, but not for Mr. Tesla.
Oh, God.
Elon Musk. You know that Cybertruck he's bought out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've now learned that when it goes hot, when it's on heat, it changes colour.
What, like a dog goes on heat?
Yeah, like a dog goes on heat. So when it's horny, it changes colour. No,
Is it like one of those mood rings that changes colour?
No, it's just about when the heat of the actual
Oh, right, okay.
goes up, it changes colour.
What, so if you leave it in the
it's
sun,
steel.
what colour is it going to turn?
Rusty, probably. It's steel, isn't it? So it's just going to
Is it steel?
Yeah, I
I
think
thought it was
so.
aluminium.
Yeah, probably aluminium. One of the two.
Okay,
Anyway,
right.
not to get bogged down with that. Guess how many orders they've had?
For
This new truck.
Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
No idea.
Because you know the hype around Tesla.
Mm.
Guess how many new
There's
orders?
hype around Tesla.
Yeah.
Would never guess.
600,000 orders
Sod.
placed.
That's a lot of orders.
600,000. Done a very good job, Mr. Musk. But I'm not particularly interested in that.
No, I'm not
And also,
really.
I've got another one that's going to really annoy Charles.
What?
You know, last week or the week before, we discussed
Couple of weeks
the
ago.
DB5
Continuation
from Goldfinger.
Yeah, the
I think that was
one with the
episode
guns.
5, wasn't it?
Probably.
And you got really annoyed saying car makers shouldn't be doing old cars, they should make new cars better.
Oh no.
So what they've actually done now is they've electrified an Aston Martin DB6.
Oh, why?
So what they've done... is
That's Aston Martin doing it. It's Aston Martin
Works.
Oh, Aston Martin Works. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
actual Aston Martin.
Yeah, they've turned this petrol V6 into an
Right.
electric car.
Yep.
But what they've done is they've left the gearbox in, so they're going to have a clutch and you're going to have a gear knob.
Oh, will it not do anything?
It won't do anything. So you get to a junction, you slow down, you'll think, oh.
Put your foot.
But then nothing will
Why
happen.
would you bother do that? Why would you bother?
No, I don't know why you would
That's
do
a bit
it.
stupid.
And then if you look at the where is it? Here it is.
Interior.
Not the interior. The engine.
Oh right, the engine bay.
Is now just a plate. It looks like they've just got a plate to cover up
That's
the old engine.
Someone's left a folding table in the engine bay. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose that's to stop you tinkering with it.
Yeah, exactly.
To stop your grandfather
With
going,
the old
I had
girl.
one of those, and he goes underneath and puts
Yeah.
15,000 volts through it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's going to cost around 200k.
Right, okay.
And the same.
£200,000.
Yeah. And the same thing can be done for the DB5 and the DB4.
But Jaguar did that with an E-Type, didn't they? They got the E-Type
Yeah.
Zero one as well.
And
so.
Mini did it, didn't they, with the classic Cooper? Remember we saw that one in London?
Yeah, but I think that was a different. That was one of those David Brown ones.
Oh, really?
David Brown, what are they called? Mini remastered. I think that was the electric version of that we saw. Which
Yeah.
I like because that's an external company. Manufacturers, like I said, just don't waste your time with it. It's all PR.
I've got a car that you might actually be interested in,
What?
electric car.
Yeah.
The new P1800 Tribute.
They're doing a Volvo
Yeah,
P1800.
P1800. Polestar.
What, an electric one?
Yeah, Polestar are
Oh,
making
yeah.
an electric car of the
That-
P1800.
that
And I
does-
know you like that car.
That does look quite good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think that looks better
Yeah.
than... I'm a bit worried about those wheels, though, because they look a bit modern.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. But I heard whispers about that a few years
I can't
ago.
remember who it's owned by. It's owned by one of the mechanics from Volvo.
Oh, what, the car
Cyan.
itself?
Yeah.
Ah.
But now, Jonas Christian Dahl.
From Cyan Racing. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Which is...
who's also the current owner of Polestar.
Oh,
They've
really?
got together and they've worked it up to be electric now. Because Roger Moore had one of these, didn't he?
He did. He had I think it was called Old English White.
In the
I might
Saints.
be wrong. No, that wasn't. That was a British Leyland colour.
Right.
Yes, he had one, and it had different wheels on it. It had aftermarket wheels on it,
Yeah.
and it actually had a temperature gauge inside the car
Hey.
for it, so Roger Moore could see how hot he was getting on shoots, and then I see him complain about it.
Really?
Yeah. But no, I will admit I quite like the idea of that. That's
I
my
know you would.
exception because I think that goes underneath my radar in terms of because it's not actually the manufacturer, it's Polestar, which is kind of
And they're
separate
making some
in my mind.
fantastic looking cars now, I think.
Polestar one's
Yeah.
a good looking car,
Apart from the stupid seatbelt they've got.
bright
over
yellow seatbelts.
Stupid, yeah. Anyway, I've got some other electrical news for you.
What?
A new firm from Germany called eBussy.
Oh God.
eBus, yeah. It sounds like eBay and Stussy have done a collab, doesn't it?
Stussy.
Stussy. You know the clothing brand? I'm partial to a bit of Stussy.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, it looks like a Bedford van.
E-Bussy sounds like it should be a bus, but that's just a Bedford Rascal.
So there's 10 different variants of this eBussy. So it could be a camper van, a van, a car, a tipper truck, everything. And all this is going to be used for, I'm calling it now, is councils.
Oh, local councils going
They're going to go mad for that.
electric, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks just like... What were those little... Piaggio ones? Those little Piaggio flatbed ones. Piaggio... However you spell
I think it looks like a Bedford...
Piaggio. I can't remember how you say the name.
I think it reminds me of a Bedford Rascal.
It does look like a flatbed Bedford Rascal. Doesn't it?
Exactly.
Although, I've got another... If I can just jump in very quickly.
Oh, God.
LEVC, who do the cabs...
Oh, right, yeah.
Lecky London cabs.
Yeah.
Which are basically just Volvo XC40s underneath. They share a lot of stuff with that. They have launched a van version of the... So it's basically a van. It's a taxi, but it's just a van. So there's nothing in the
fake van.
I think... No, we're not doing fake taxi jokes. That's not allowed. But that van, I think it looks awesome. It looks like a taxi that's just been... turned into like a big ice cream van. Why?
Because that's exactly what it has been.
That's because what it is underneath. But I think that looks great. I think that's the electric van I could get on board with.
Yeah. Well, this
Have you got
e-bussy
any
thing.
news?
No, this
Yeah.
e-bussy thing. It's got city and off-road spec. So you can have an off-road e-bussy. I think
like
it's
that.
great. I think it's absolutely great. It's only going to cost 14 grand.
14 grand. That's good. I thought that
For an electric vehicle.
For a little, but I bet that's going to be teeny weeny. I bet you could fit it in this room.
Probably the size of this table.
Probably.
Yeah. Not very big. Only goes 124 miles.
Yep.
And then I've got
What other
some
news have we got?
other news.
Oh yes, because I've got what's his name? What was it? It's it's Sir Dr. Ralph Speth has left,
left.
JLR.
There you go. You've called me on my next.
Oh, have I
article.
really? Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
The new guy's called Terry Galore.
Terry Galore.
I think it's Terry
You mean
Galore.
Thierry Ballore.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah.
Thierry
Ballore. Sounds like a footballer who had a knee injury, never quite made it.
Thierry Ballore.
Yeah. Because you were a big fan of the old one, weren't you?
I prefer Terry Galore, to be fair. That sounds more Midlands to you.
It does.
That's what you'd call
Yeah.
the Jaguar factory at the time. Terry Galore. It's full of Terrys. Sorry, I'm talking absolute crap. Carry on. Right, what's he done? Who is he?
He's just become the new boss.
Oh,
Of,
right.
Jaguar
Where's
Land
he
Rover.
from? Where's he from? What did he do before?
Renault.
Oh, he was at Renault.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Because
good.
Renault had tried to get away from Chosin, the guy who tried to disgrace Renault.
Yeah.
And then they replaced him with this guy. He fell out with the board, and now the chairman of
Well,
Tata.
he wanted to. The guy
wanted
who
now.
it must be this guy, but this guy was trying to get Renault involved with PSA, with
Really?
Peugeot, and the other one.
Citroen.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Good knowledge. So he was trying to get them involved with them, but the French government wouldn't let them have their shares,
Really?
so it all fell out a bit, and I assume that's why he fell out with the board and
Yeah,
got
yeah.
binned. But now he's gone to JLR,
Yeah.
which I kind of like. Maybe
Do
it
you?
needs a bit of French flair because Ralph Spess is a chairman. And he's
Oh,
very
yeah.
chairman.
He's very
he's got a
German.
chairman moustache. The most chairman of chairman moustaches.
More than what's his guy? The name? Who's head of Daimler AG?
Oh yes, has he got a moustache?
He's got. Oh, has he got a moustache?
Has he? Oh yes, I know.
Oh, you know who you mean.
Yes, I know who you mean. I can't remember his name.
Looks
but
like
he's
the
got
Go Compare
big-
man.
He's got a
Oh,
big
yeah.
moustache. Maybe we'll see. We're going to see more moustaches in.
Maybe they're
no,
making a comeback.
Ralph's
like
breath.
mine right now. 23 years growth.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That really is.
But that's basically it for main news this week. It's been quite boring.
It has been a bit
Can
boring.
people please make things a bit more interesting?
Can we have
'Cause
some
then,
interesting news? That'd
makes
be
this
actually
podcast
quite
more
nice.
interesting as well.
All we do is talk about electric cars. Okay, right. If we're being dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century of motoring,
Yeah.
what electric car would you have?
Do you know, I'd probably have the same electric car that you'd have.
I-Pace?
The I-Pace.
I'd probably have the I-Pace.
I'd come in the I-Pace.
Oh no, we're not doing that joke again.
Yeah, I
but
would have it. I'd have it in cesium blue
yep.
with the 22-inch 5056
I spec'd
alloys.
up my ideal I-Pace.
How much did it cost you?
It cost me just over 80 grand,
Really?
which is pretty expensive.
They are beautiful though. Beautiful,
They are a very
beautiful
pretty
cars.
car. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I love driving the
It
I-Pace.
went like
It's
the
a
absolute
great
clappers.
car.
Beautiful inside. Same price as a Tesla.
Roughly,
Really,
yeah,
isn't
about that, yeah.
And I don't own a pair of S3XY pants.
Oh, what the sexy
Tesla satin pants.
No, no.
So
I don't
therefore,
want
and
any
no
of
one
that.
would want to imagine me wearing them.
No,
So,
absolutely not. No, I like the
therefore I don't
I-Pace.
own them.
If I was going to have anything that was out of the I-Pace, I do like the Polestar 1. Or the Polestar 2 for that
Would
matter.
you have it in sports spec? With the yellow...
I think they come as standard.
No,
I
they
think-
don't.
Do they
It's a
not?
sport pack.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
is
that's
that
how
what
you
it
know
is?
it's sporty.
But the option, I went on the Polestar 1 configurator because they're only making a certain amount of them, I think.
This
and
is all
that's
Charles' business for
100
himself.
Oh, all I do. You do too. I'm sorry, but you spend the majority of your life on configurators
Yeah.
building cars.
Yeah, I can't
like we
argue
all
with
do.
that.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's very
the
true. And
ultimate
Auto
boredom
Trader.
killer.
And Auto Trader.
Auto
as well.
Trader and configurators.
Yeah.
But I'd have the Polestar 1 myself. Do you know
What,
that you can
over
get
the
that in
I-Pace?
matte paint? You can have a matte painted
What is
Polestar.
factory?
Do you know how much it costs you?
A lot.
How much do you reckon?
I know it's about 140 grand for the standard one. Isn't
Well,
it?
that's not just for the paint job, but how much does the individual paint job cost you?
Ooh.
They cost 140 grand.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You can't change
Does it
that
cost
much
about
on
3
them.
grand?
It's 4.5 grand.
4.5
So
pounds.
it's quite a lot of money.
That's how much Jaguar costs.
I'm
isn't
not
it,
a huge
for,
fan of matte
Their
paint.
special colours.
Yeah,
Matte,
no, yeah, it's about that. But I'm not a huge fan of matte paint. Plus, if you get
No.
bird poo on it,
If you get nicked, just a little scratch. It's just,
it's very
looks
soft, isn't
rubbish.
it? It wouldn't be very good. But
Yeah.
I'd have it in a dark blue on my configurator. I had both of them in dark blue actually.
I'd have it in cesium blue, my I-Pace.
Mm,
The one that we
is a
went
nice
in was a
car.
cesium
That
one.
was a cesium blue one,
And that was
which I
lovely.
really like. Got to be the HSE spec, top spec, 400 EV400. I think that's the only option they actually give you, EV400.
Yeah.
Which is a spicy engine. Well, I say engine, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Spicy.
Battery.
It's a spicy motor.
It's a battery.
Spicy battery. Yeah, but they've got
Yeah.
motors in them too.
Battery.
What else is there? That's about it, really. Are we done for news this week?
That's it for news.
Oh, God,
yeah,
right,
I wouldn't
okay.
watch that if I were you. I'd just
just
BBC One.
Double tap. BBC One. We're not on terrestrial television, you moron.
Oh, yeah.
We're
YouTube
on,
One.
We're on the YouTube. So, no, you just skip a few
10
seconds or however.
Yeah.
Slide it along a bit long. Just ignore that.
Come to Drive By Destroy, which is next.
Right, Drive By Destroy for this week.
What have you got for me?
I don't know what to call it. Is it ugly cars or uninspiring cars or just a bit hopeless cars?
You can't see this, but Charles has moved the Corvette and he's put the pictures of the 3 cars we've got.
So we can just have a little.
And I think they're either ugly or uninspiring because they are the worst looking cars. Actually,
I think they are.
I don't mind the one in the middle, you know.
Do you not?
No. Anyway, carry on so then they can find out what it is.
Right.
Not
so
they.
ugly cars for this ugly cars for this week are the Nissan Cube, the Infiniti QX56.
Is that the most boring
name? It is, sorry. And obviously, the Pontiac Aztek.
From Breaking Bad.
That's its probably only redeeming feature. Yeah. So we'll work top down.
It's actually breaking down bad is what it's doing.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's the worst looking car.
Awful. That is the... Let's just vent about the Pontiac Aztek. We're not going in order because it's just so...
Look at its grille. It looks like it's
just vile. It's horrible. That is designed by committee
dreadful.
right there,
That is a focus group design.
That is focus group design. That is really...
Which have a smiley face
How
and a
could they
loose
go?
button.
Do you know what? That looks good. With your 2 grills, 2 different styles of grills, 2 different styles of headlights.
These are the
Nothing
same.
goes. It's like they gave every single piece of that car to a different committee to design how a light should look, how an indicator should look, how a wheel should look.
What they've made is lots of components and then not thought about how it comes together.
Exactly.
This is the people who also said the Pontiac Fiero is like a Ferrari. So how can we be
It's
surprised
just a
that
hateful car.
the Aztek? It's a dreadful name as well.
It's a terrible name. It really
terrible
is. It's
name.
terrible. I think the only thing that... Orange is the colour that it's most associated with, really, isn't it? For me.
No, for me it's one from Breaking Bad.
Which is what, white?
Yeah, it's like a olivey, greeny, horribly silvery colour, isn't
God.
it? Nothing nice about that car.
Nothing nice. I
nice.
thought he had an orange one. I've never seen Breaking Bad.
No, he doesn't have an orange one, I don't think. I've only seen a few of the episodes.
I don't think he had an orange one.
No.
Somehow.
No, but then you got the Nissan Cube, which didn't actually run for very long, did it?
No, it ran for 8. Well, no, it ran for about 3 years in the UK.
No, not long in the UK.
5 years in America. But it ran, in the form that we're seeing here, it ran from 2002 to December of last year.
Yeah. I'm going to be controversial now. When I said I don't think it's that bad looking, I was talking about the Nissan Cube. I don't think it's that bad.
Really?
No.
It's very distinctive. I've been in one.
It's very distinctive. How big is it inside?
Big.
Is it?
Big, because the seats are small and it's quite big. It's just quite a big
Say
car.
big once more.
I was going to say a big square car. Obviously, it's called the Cube. But it got less offensive as it went on.
No,
the early ones are really ugly.
I agree. I like the. It's got quite an offensive grille, hasn't it? In front of it. Not that one there, but I know
it's got a big chin. Look, it's got a big chin.
It's got a big. Not an overbite. What's it called?
Underbite.
Like
Like that.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Which do you know it won a design award? The Cube.
Did it?
Yeah.
Who can make the most square car?
Oh no, I think it was the Lego Design Award. Yeah, I think it probably was. No, I don't think that's entirely true. And the last one, a car that I never really thought of until I saw the version, the UK version, which it was built. That was a Nissan Armada.
Well, I was just about to say the Infiniti QX56.
God, what a name!
Boring, isn't it?
How boring.
What I was
Infiniti don't do good names, do they?
No, they all sound stupid.
They're all just QX and a number, which is a bit boring.
But what I was going to say is that what it looks like is it looks like it started off as kind of a big American SUV. Then it kind of goes into a pickup truck. And then the designers kind of lost inspiration, gone, what do I do? Then the corner of his eye, what he's done is he's seen, oh my god, it's a Nissan Pathfinder. Because look at the back.
No, it became a Nissan Pathfinder. When they updated that car, they used the body. It was built on a Nissan Pathfinder because Nissan and Infiniti are the same thing. But if it had bigger lights on it, because I think it's this bit that's really offensive, is the fact that the grille is standing higher than the light. So it's
like its nose above its eyes.
Exactly. It's just a bit too. It's just all wrong.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it wouldn't look too bad, but it's just the fact they got it so violently wrong. Obviously, look, they were from something else and they've just been tacked onto it. It just doesn't. It's just and it's very boring. Yeah. Look at that colour. That's just
dreadful.
Awful.
I'm sorry you can't see this, but it's just.
Oh no, they can see it. They can see it here. It will be just there. But I think that is a terrible, terrible looking car.
Yeah.
And
anyway, we've got to make some decisions because that is what.
Do you know it's only sold in the US and Canada and a bit of the Middle East. Yeah.
Do you know how happy I am?
Do you know what engine it had in it?
A big one.
What do you reckon?
Oh, it's a V8.
You're correct.
It's actually a V8. Is it a 4-litre V8?
It's a 5.6 litre V8. At the top, when you're really
That's
going
the most American thing I've ever seen. Big, gaudy,
horrible,
no style, ugly,
chrome-clad,
fat, awful,
horrible,
disheartening, hate it in every single way.
And it's got a 2-bigger engine in. 12 miles to the gallon was your average if you put your foot down.
Greta Thunberg has one of those.
No, that runs on Greta Thunberg. It's like chopped up Greta Thunberg. That's what that runs on. That's the American way. We don't take any of that hippie shit from Sweden.
God's sake.
Is she Swedish? No. She's Swedish, isn't she?
I don't know. She's
nice, Swedish.
She has very cute dogs.
Is she Swedish? Nodding off camera. Okay, I think she's Swedish. So go ahead. Do you want me to go? Actually, I went last time.
You went last week, so I'll go this week.
What are you doing?
Right, so I'm destroying the Infinity. Just as we went off on that one, I absolutely loathe that car. Yeah. Absolutely loathe it.
Are you going to do the same thing as me?
And then I'm going to drive the Aztec.
We're
not exactly the same. I'm exactly the same because I want to feel like Walter
White.
Walter White.
Walter Mitty. Something. That was a Ben Stiller movie.
Oh, that's
yeah, right. No.
Walter White.
Walter White.
Driving around that I haven't got loads of meth in the back of my car.
Walter Very White.
Walter Very White. Yeah, sorry. And we're going very red in the studio.
It's really hot in here.
Boiling in here.
It's really hot.
Yeah, that's what I'll be driving, the Pontiac Aztec. Dreadful looking car. And then because I am a loose fitting surfer dude cool chap, I will be having the Nissan Cube.
What is a loose fitting surfer dude about that?
It's very popular surfboards. You can fit surfboards on the roof. That's how they advertised it once.
On the roof?
Yeah. We're not going to put them inside,
You can put them on any roof, technically.
Yeah, but they look cool on that one.
I do like the idea of putting, like, you know, the Alpine A110. You can get these. So I'm going off base a little bit.
I'd rather talk about the Alpine 110.
Exactly. They put you have these suckers that go on you can put on the roof or on the windscreen like this, and it's just got 2 bars of rubber, and you can just put your. This is terrible. What am I doing? You can just put your skis through these little rubber things, and so you'd have your Alpine like that, and you'd have 2.
Do you know someone did that something very similar with an Alfa Romeo 4C? They put a rack on the back of it and an old leather strapped and old vintage Louis Vuitton suitcase on it.
Oh, I quite like that. I like that.
Awesome.
Like it would look like the ski version, like the Mercury Cougar that was on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
That is a cool looking car.
That's a really cool
How
car.
did I get from the Pontiac Aztec to on Her Majesty's Secret Service?
I'm very glad you did because it drove away from that awful car.
I'm not entirely sure. Anyway,
so therefore I'd drive that. So therefore I'd buy the Cube because I am loose fitting shirt, cool dude.
There's nothing loose fitting.
I think it's a cool car.
That's Japanese granny going to the shops car, in my opinion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's probably a Japanese boy band.
Japanese boy, what? K-pop?
K-pop. That's Korea pop, isn't it? J-pop.
I think there is a thing as J-pop. I swear there is. Yeah, but that's what they must all drive. They have a fleet of Nissan Cubes to do that.
What would you do then?
I would be buying the Cube because, it is, for all its faults and the fact that it is a bit hopeless, it's a bit quirky and you get a few looks. And I quite like the simpleness of the interior, a bit plasticky, but I quite like the simpleness of the interior. I will be driving the Aztec because I just quite like to drive it because it's quite an interesting looking car. And because that is just so uninspiring, the Infinity is
it's just a mixture of absolutely everything, and I never realised the headlights.
But it's not a mixture of anything good.
No.
It's just crap.
No.
As is the Aztec. It's all apart from the Cube.
The Cube, actually.
But these two.
The more I'm looking at the Cube, the more I'm not hating it.
Really?
Yeah.
The back of it's a bit hopeless.
The back of it is
horrible. Of it is hopeless.
Horrible. Good for putting big dogs in though.
Well, I suppose it probably would be actually.
Yeah.
Is that the only redeeming feature you can think of that car?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it won an award
from Lego.
Dog slobber. But that both of those two, top and bottom, are just designed by committee. How inoffensive can we make a car?
Yeah. It's got 3 rows of lights on that Aztec. They all look awful. All look as hopeless as.
Oh yeah, there's fog lights. Then there's that. Then there's that.
Yeah.
I contemplated the Fiat Multipla, which has a similar thing.
Oh yeah.
But I quite like the Fiat Multipla. It's quite a sensible car when you think about
It's
it.
awful.
It's not
It's
the best looking
it's
thing
6
in the
seats.
car in the world. It's 6 seats.
Yeah.
That's
There
why
are
I
3 in
thought
the
it was
front,
quite.
don't you?
Yeah, I
It's
quite
like a
like that.
McLaren F1.
It is practically the middle seat is like
Yeah.
it's practically a McLaren F1, apart from in every possible way
Every single way.
ever. So there,
we go.
we actually agreed on one.
So what we're doing, we're driving the
the Aztec,
buying the
Cube.
and destroying very happily. Sometimes we're quite reluctant
thing.
in our destroys, aren't we?
Sometimes, but
Yeah,
that
this week-
just deserves to be. Look at that! They couldn't even put decent wheels on it. They're tiny.
No, everything about it's crap.
Terrible. Okie dokie. So there we go.
That's it.
I'm glad we agree for once. Which
We can
makes
end
a
on a
change.
high note.
We can end on a high note. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Tune in again next week. Hopefully there'll be more interesting stuff in the news.
Hope so.
Part of
Please, car
an
manufacturers,
Bedford Rascal.
make yourselves more interesting.
Just put out something that's a
Yeah.
little bit
Just for
spicy
us.
for us to talk about.
Might not
Just
be
for us.
true. Might not be true. Just do it for us.
Absolutely rubbish. What
Yeah.
Mustang are making a car that runs on Polar Bear
Polar Blair.
Polar Bear blood.
Polar
Oh
Bear
no, Polar Bear and Tony Blair's blood. Polar Bear blood. Genius.
Nah, super political.
High
Right.
octane.
Yeah.
Tony Blair blood.
Yeah, very good.
Sorry, I'm talking rubbish.
You are,
Thank
as
you
usual.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Tune in
Bye bye.
next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.